with the first step, which is I'm going to bring Bekah and Lewis in, and there I'm going to ask them um, some questions, and let's hear their comments in terms of format, recovery, what you discussed, how the team challenges were, etc., etc. So, if you do have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask the question. Don't be shy. And I think there is a chat messaging service as well.
Hey,
yes.
Yeah, Javed, yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, rather you take question and microphone, take it from the chat. So you read out the questions.
Don't be shy. Do you mind, Rakesh, then if somebody sends a question on the chat, could you read out the question for me then? You take over that part of the job.
Me? Okay.
Yes, please. Because I'm not really good with Zoom. All right? Is that okay? Thank you. Okay. Bekah, Lewis, may I bring you guys in, please? Could you just center yourselves with the camera, both of you?
Yeah, there you go. Squeeze in. There we go.
So welcome back. We've got 17, 19, 10 minutes. So, thank you again for being part of this. You know, essentially what you've done is you've given up your personal data to a set of people you've never met.
It's all public anyway.
And not just that, you put yourself in a group of, with a new culture, on a technology, WhatsApp. You're brave, so thank you very much. And a round of applause for the champs for being part of this. All right. Now, what are your thoughts on the overall competition? What do you think? Do you think it's working? What are your top level macro thoughts?
I think it's definitely difficult to compete on intensity because duration is the measure. So if you're going hard, you can't compete with the length of time that lots of people are putting in. But I mean, it was great to challenge myself to do more time-wise as well.
No, I absolutely agree, because skating is different to walking, is different to running, is different to cricket, and in cricket, if you're batting, it's different to fielding, I guess. So that is a point, and this is something we have discussed quite often because we are such a diverse group doing multiple things. This was one way of keeping calories don't work. But anyway, that was the thought. But hopefully, as technology improves, Rajiv over here is talking about is making his own app now. That's Rajiv right over there. But anyways, how are your team rooms? Lewis, what did you think about the Spartan room? You were a Spartan, weren't you?
Yeah, it was great. It was really active, really engaging. There's a lot of inspiring people in there. Thoughts, comments, like you're talking about changing the way things are measured, evolving the way things are measured. There was lots of good ideas, lots of good photos, people introducing themselves. So it was a really great experience, and I really enjoyed my time.
Brilliant. Okay. Let's talk about the big one, recovery.
Oh yeah, I liked how that came in a lot. Yeah.
What are your comments on it? What do you think we should be doing, or what you're not doing? I know it came up in the chat message. Sometimes this is lost in the clutter. But for those people who didn't read it, would you mind telling us about recovery?
Okay, so like we talked about having some downtime when we've been working hard. I've seen a lot of people in my team and in other teams working extremely hard. And you want to make a lifestyle change which lasts for a long time. So you want to be doing these sorts of things multiple weeks rather than just once. And so you need to make sure that you've got a balance there.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying out different activities. We were talking about yoga, and we were talking about taking slower walks, slower cycles, meditation in there as well, mind and body, rather than just focusing on your body. So there are lots of people finding what works for them, and I think that's a very important thing to be doing.
Right. Okay. How was your team room?
It was a little quieter than I get the impression Spartans were, but it was very supportive. It was really nice to see everyone just like, just all the support for when people posted activities and things like that. It was just nice.
In Champions Club, that's
Oh,
where
yes.
champions reside. Right?
Yeah, we had an extra chat on top of that.
Now I made you moderators of the club. It's our club now.
Responsibility.
There you go. Well, I'm glad Mike and two more people have joined in, by the way, guys, from the Nottingham Skaters on the club. So there are more. It seems that people are interested in competing online, and I'm hoping you're going to be okay with adding more people in there. Once this challenge is over, which is over, we will invite some of the people from the Fit Club into the Champions Club to compete. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the more the merrier. I think you can get more people, you get more points of view,
Okay.
get better discussions.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just going to put us on a bit of a collision course with the Strava users, but people getting used to both platforms and seeing what works for them.
Well, I've missed a point, and which is about recovery. So what? Yeah, I mean, one of the things we did incorporate for the next week's challenge is we're going to do a 21-day challenge now.
Oh, wow.
And you are expected to have at least 7 days recovery of that. You're forced to take it. If you want to work on top of that, you delete it. You're not supposed to do it, or don't log it. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Do you think that would work?
Yeah, I think that showing officially in that way that it's important.
Yeah.
And maybe having people. I think you can post photographs still, can't you, and see what you've been doing in your lifetime. What do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely you've got to sort of enforce that in some way over such a long challenge, because don't want people breaking themselves. And yeah, it'd be hard to moderate, I suppose. But yeah, impressive that you're gonna give it a go. Yeah,
Let's give it a shot. Yeah. So guys, Lewis and Bekah, once they leave the Fit Club, what I'll do is I'll be posting their LinkedIn as well as their Facebook. I didn't ask your permission. You guys are okay with that?
Yeah, I think I've given you my LinkedIn already, so that's.
So I will be posting their profiles. Please, keep in touch with them. It's not like, friends for life. So they were part of us. We competed together, and I'll send you the profiles. Please do add them as friends. It's better that you do it as opposed to Lewis going out and sending friends invite to 80 people, or Bekah doing that 80 times. So I will be posting that. Rakesh, are there any questions on the chat, please?
Yeah, sure. So the question from Santosh. So he just want to know, how do we keep up this momentum? Any tips from the champs?
That's how do you keep up momentum?
Momentum, yeah.
Well, I think the way that your club's been going, our club's been going, where we're changing the challenges. You have a new challenge every week. Things like that are very good to keep it fresh, to keep it exciting. People posting what they're doing. But also, I think it comes back into recovery. If you've made sure that you've looked after your body and that you've looked after your mind, then you're ready to go again. You don't wake up the next day feeling as sore, or you don't injure yourself, which can be a big killer of momentum. Got it? So you've been looking after yourself, aren't you? And it's a lot easier to get up and go again.
Thank you for that.
What do you think? Do you have any comments
just
on that?
the variety that you're already building into it is great, and you're obviously all encouraging each other anyway. So like that support is what keeps people going, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It might be a good time to announce what the next week's challenge is. It's called TKM Curves versus Muscles. Okay. One team of 26 women and two teams of 26 men each competing on time. So with recovery included. So great. Any more questions, Rakesh?
Yeah, it's a question from me itself. So we talked about recovery time, right? So other than that, if you do regular activities like jogging, biking, or any other activities, do you have any day-to-day tips for avoiding the injuries, like warming up and doing stretching? A few things we do that. Do you suggest something else?
things like foam rollers and massage balls that maybe some people haven't come across before. They're a great way for sort of loosening up tension in muscles that where it might build up into knots, and things like that can cause injury if you keep trying to exert those muscles. So yeah, if you look into those, that's a good way of getting more recovery.
Yeah, we can repeat this on the chats later as well if anybody misses it or wants a link to a specific item. I think you talked about warming up, and warming up stretching is really important if you're doing intense activity, especially. One tip that I would give is when you're warming up, try and make it dynamic. So don't just sit and stretch when you're sitting down and you're cold. Warm up with some movements, some sort of light squats or things like that. You can find videos that take you along those sorts of routines on the internet quite easily. And leave any static stretching, sitting, lying down sort of stretches, leave those until afterwards. And that's a good way of minimizing any potential aches or pains.
Great, thank you. Any more questions, Rakesh?
I think that's all. Resto his suggestions to our.
You missed one from Chiku.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Rakesh, you missed one.
What is it?
Sir, it was not a question. You can read it, Javed.
I'll read it for you. So
Okay.
Chiku had the question. I had the same question too. And we are asking you to be brutally honest. You can feel free to admit if Javed has bullied you into participating in this competition and the redemption of good booze at the end of it. It's okay. You don't have to answer that.
He's drinking water.
Yeah,
Bekah's drinking Coke.
We're all interested to see what Javed has offered you.
Yeah.
We've definitely not been bullied into it. It's just
it's
great to get involved with things. Like,
Oh.
especially skating being a bit niche, we don't find a lot of other skaters, and there's not a lot of community. Like, well, there is, but like it's not nearby, so we can't go out and join in with that at the moment. So yeah, it's just really great to be invited into something. It's really nice. So,
Well, it's been good to have you on board. So thank you.
That's okay.
Great, thank you for that. So our 10 minutes are up. Before, I want to thank you guys again, and I'll post your Facebook links, and hopefully you will get some loads of invites from people, from TK Mites. Any last comments? Any wise words? Any last comments before we, announce the results of the team's challenge?
Well, just to say thank you to all, everyone that's here for coming to this, but also for participating throughout the week and for welcoming us so warmly into your challenges. It's been really fun. It's been great to meet you all, and hopefully we can compete some more in the future.
Excellent. Bekah?
I think you summarized it pretty well.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank you very much for that. I'm going to now share my screen, and I'm going to show everyone the team results. So please stay back to watch the results, and we'll take it from there. Hopefully the technology will be kind to me. So guys, are you ready for the team results? The unfortunate thing is I asked them to mute the microphones. Now I'm hating it. So team's challenge, there you go. So here it is.
We thought you loved the sound of your voice, Javed.
You're so kind.
Oh, this is very professional.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. How do I close this thing, man? There you go. All right.